Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to this Facebook Live. My name is Rachel. I'm an environmental educator at Sea Turtle Inc. Sea Turtle Inc. is a nonprofit organization and Sea Turtle Hospital in South Padre Island, Texas. Our mission focuses on the rehabilitation, conservation, and education of sea turtles. Today, we're actually going to be going into our clinic to chat with our vet tech, Nina. So Nina's actually currently in the clinic with a new patient. So she's going to introduce herself and we're going to be talking all about this new patient. So thank you so much for joining us. As always, let me know where you're tuning in from. It's always interesting to see where our viewers are from. Thank you so much for watching. We'll go ahead and get to the clinic. So over here is Nina Navi. She is our vet tech at Sea Turtle Inc. So can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, I'm Nina. I'm the vet tech / hospital manager here at Sea Turtle Inc. I've worked here for about 4 years, and I pretty much take care of all the day-to-day care of the animals. So that includes feeding, medical treatments, blood draws, all of that.
Awesome. So can you actually tell us about this new patient that we have down here?
Yeah, so this is Shelly. Shelly actually came in yesterday, so this is the newest patient in our hospital. Shelly came in yesterday afternoon. There were visitors on the beach that saw this turtle washed up in the tide line way up our beach at mile 24, which is pretty far up there. They saw the turtle and it was actually hooked, and the hook was attached to a big block of oyster shells that weighed 1.3 pounds. So whenever the visitors saw this turtle stranded in the tide line with that hook attached to it, they knew something was wrong. So they actually flagged down one of our ATV patrollers that was on the beach looking for nesting mamas. So the ATV patroller then called our field technician, Emma, and also Rachel, our MC of the day. They both went up there to rescue the turtle and brought it back to us. So we actually have the oyster shell right here, which was attached to the turtle. So again, there's the hook. We actually cut the hook, but this is actually inside the turtle attached to this 1.3 pound block of oyster shells. Now, when we removed the hook, there was actually necrotic or dead tissue present in the hook site, which indicates that this was not a fresh wound. This turtle had probably been swimming with this attached to him for some period of time. So that is a little alarming, especially because this hook went very deep. So once I removed the hook, I actually cleaned out that wound, and then I did cold laser therapy on the turtle. So there's a couple different treatments we're gonna do to help this animal heal. But the good news is as soon as I put him in water, he perked up and he is using that front left flipper, which is great.
So what kind of medications does a patient like Shelly get?
So every turtle that comes through our hospital gets the same set of medications, which would be an antibiotic, vitamins, and fluids. So Shelly got all of those. And in addition to those, Shelly also got a dose of an anti-inflammatory and pain medication called meloxicam, just because there is definitely some sort of pain and inflammation associated with this. So I'll actually give that medication every day for 3 days and kind of look at Shelly's behavior, see if she's eating or not, and then maybe continue or discontinue it. So those are the medications the animal's on, in addition to daily wound treatment of that hook site and cold laser therapy.
Awesome. So what should people do if they find a patient like Shelly out on the beach?
Yeah, so that's actually how a lot of our animals come through our doors. Shelly is actually the 23rd turtle that has come through our hospital this year in 2020. And Shelly's actually the 4th turtle that came in due to fishing-related injuries. We had 3 other entangled turtles, and this was a hook turtle. So whenever you see a turtle on the beach, we have tons of people on our beach and also on our jetties, including Boca Chica Beach. If you ever see a turtle washed up there, please give us a call. We have a 24-hour stranding number that someone will answer. You can also call our main facility and you can get through to our stranding phone that way. But the best thing would be to just stay with the turtle, give us a call, and we'll tell you what to do from there.
Okay, awesome. So it looks like you have an X-ray pulled up on the computer. Can you show us that?
Yeah, so every turtle that comes in, we do X-rays on, we do blood work on, we do a physical exam. So I thought it'd be cool to show you guys what a sea turtle X-ray looks like. We actually take 3 different X-rays of the animal. This is called the dorsoventral view, but you can see all of the nice bones and all of the flippers. It's actually kind of cool to see the bones in the flipper. They're carpal bones. It looks a lot like fingers. And yeah, so this is pretty good. So every time we take X-rays, we get a turtle in, we send it to our veterinarian, Dr. Tom, at the Gladys Porter Zoo, and he will interpret the radiograph or X-ray and give us feedback on where to go.
Very cool. If any of you have any questions for Nina, please type them into the comments below. She has tons of knowledge on sea turtles and their care, so we'd love to have your questions. Let's walk over here and look at Shelly. Now, can you tell us why he is currently in this tank and not out with the rest of the turtles?
That's a great question. So every time a turtle comes into our facility, we initially place them in an isolation tank. So that's what this tank is. Isolation means this turtle is by itself, contained in this tank. The reason why we do that is we want to make sure this turtle doesn't have a parasite before putting it out into the tanks with the other turtles. So as you can see, I have it labeled with the animal's name, collect fecal, and this turtle does not have FP, which is a virus. That's a whole nother story. But you can see I have collect fecal on there. So as soon as this animal defecates, I will do a fecal analysis. Basically, looking at poop under the microscope to look for different parasites. If there are not any parasites, then the turtle will be cleared and we can put him in one of the outside tanks. If the turtle were to have parasites, which is pretty rare, but it does happen, we would just keep them in this isolation tank and treat them with antiparasitics until their fecal is clear. Because again, we don't want to contaminate our other healthy turtles. So Shelly will be here for probably just a couple days. Usually they defecate pretty quickly on arrival.
Cool. And as far as eating, does this turtle, has she already eaten? Will she eat? Or how long does it take them to eat while they're here?
So this turtle came in yesterday. We just put it in water today. So we'll actually offer it food for the first time today. So we haven't actually offered food yet, but we do what's called a trial diet, where we give a piece of each different type of food, because turtles do have preferences. Some turtles only want to eat shrimp. Some turtles hate shrimp. So each turtle will get shrimp, fish, and squid. So we'll feed this turtle today and see how it goes. Sometimes it takes a few days to get them to start eating. That's completely normal because it was very stressful for this animal to strand and then be handled by us at the hospital. So if they don't eat for a couple days, that's totally normal.
We have two questions from Kiara. She asked, is the hook fully removed or is there still some still stuck inside, excuse me? Or she also said, if you did not remove the hook, what would happen? So is it fully removed? And if you didn't, what would happen?
Right. The hook was fully removed. The location was actually is at the base of the front left flipper. You can kind of see that little white spot right there. So the location of the hook was actually very convenient because it's very easy for us to cut and remove it. Now, if that hook had been ingested and caught in the animal's throat or it made it further away into its body, then we would be contacting our veterinarian to decide how we were going to treat it. In some sea turtle hospitals, but based on the location of the hook, they'll actually leave the hook there, and over years it can eventually dissolve. But it really just depends on what type of hook it is and where the hook is placed. But fortunately for Shelly, it was a super easy removal.
So Johnny is actually typing that he helped rescue her yesterday. So that was one of the people who found her out of the beach. Thanks, Johnny. And here's Shelly with a double E at the end, just like you asked. Someone else asked what parasites you look for.
Yeah, great question. So there's a lot of different parasites that sea turtles can get. Trematodes, nematodes, things along those lines. One that I specifically look for is a parasite called Cariospora or Cariospora. I never know how to pronounce it. But it's a coccidian parasite, and historically that parasite has been associated with mass strandings of sea turtles in Australia and stuff like that. So that's a parasite of interest to us, and whenever I find that parasite, I actually collect the fecal sample and ship it to a veterinarian who's doing a study on that. So when the animal does have that parasite, which in the 4 years I've been here, maybe 7 or 8 turtles have had that parasite. We know exactly how to treat it. It's an oral antiparasitic medication. So actually put the medication, hide it inside fish or squid, and feed it to the animal. And after the course of a couple weeks, the parasite will be gone.
Very cool. Someone else asked, Ruby actually, she's 9 years old. She asked if you have ever rescued any hatchlings.
I have rescued some hatchlings. Good question. So hatchlings sometimes have a hard time. If you imagine like a tiny little turtle like this going into the ocean, sometimes the waves are really powerful and will actually wash the hatchlings back onto shore, and visitors will find them and call us. So we have had several little baby sea turtles in our care in the past, but we don't have any in our hospital right now.
Very good. Someone else asked, Wendy asked, if you have to sedate the turtle to insert an IV or X-ray, or do an X-ray?
That is a great question. So we do have to sedate the turtle for some procedures, but usually that's restricted for procedures that are very invasive, like a surgery. If we're going to surgically remove anything from an animal, we're definitely going to use sedatives. Fortunately, in this case, the hook actually was very easy to remove, didn't require any sedation. As far as the x-rays go, we don't sedate them for that either, so sometimes it can take a long time because we have to wait for the turtle to sit still to take the x-ray, so that's kind of just like a time game. But yeah, strictly, we don't sedate very often, only for very severe cases.
Chanel asked if the blood draw is the same as other animals. Can you use the same analysis equipment and storage vials?
Ooh, very nice question. It is similar and it's not similar. It's definitely way different drawing blood on a dog versus a sea turtle. A sea turtle, we actually draw from their neck vein. So if you're looking at the turtle's neck, it just looks like a neck. You can't actually see any of the veins in it, which means it's a blind stick. So you can't see that vein, you can't feel that vein, but based on the geography of the animal, I know where to stick the needle to draw blood. And then we do some in-house blood work. We have like a centrifuge and a refractometer and glucose. So we get a couple in-house blood parameters, but we also always send out a full panel to an outside laboratory that's specialized in doing reptile blood work.
Very cool. And Kiara's asking what differences are noticeable in the minerals and nutrients in humans' blood work and turtles' blood work. So I guess some of the same parameters you look at.
Yeah, so we look, the same parameters that we look at, humans, mammals, and sea turtles would be like a white blood cell count, which can indicate an infection. We look at the red blood cell count, which can indicate if they have anemia, which is actually pretty frequent. We'll have turtles that have anemia, sometimes for known reasons, sometimes for unknown reasons. So we definitely always look at that. We look at blood glucose, which like diabetics and humans have to check their blood glucose every day. So sometimes the turtles will have low blood glucoses, so we'll treat that. And then some of the things that are different is all the electrolytes are completely different in sea turtles because they live in salt water versus mammals and birds and things like that. So electrolytes are completely different. And there are a couple different things we look at, like uric acid can indicate kidney disease in sea turtles. That's also something that you can look at in dogs and cats as well. So there is a lot of overlap between mammal and reptile blood work.
Very cool. As you can see, Nina has a lot of knowledge, so if you have any questions, she can try to answer them. Kelsey is asking, she wants to work with sea turtles in the future. She graduated with an environmental science degree. She's getting her master's in marine biology, but she's asking if you have any recommendations on how to get into this field.
Yeah, so she's a little bit further along in her academic career for this, but what I would suggest is internships. Try to get as many internships as possible. I was actually an intern here at Sea Turtle Inc. in 2012. That was my first sea turtle experience. From there, I built that on additional internships at the Dallas Zoo. Then I went to vet tech school. So it's all like kind of stepping stones. So the more you can get into internships or even volunteering at a local nonprofit, or if there's anything in your area you can do for that, just kind of anything to get your foot in the door. Also, there are a couple different job boards you can look at. There's the Texas A&M Wildlife Job Board. There are a lot of sea turtle internships and jobs on there. So definitely use those online resources, but try to also see what's going on around you to what you can get involved with.
Right, because it doesn't always have to be something specific to sea turtles, even if you're able to get other field work experience.
I worked at the Dallas Zoo, had nothing to do with sea turtles, but it was exotic animals, wildlife, so that was also another stepping stone on my resume towards getting this job.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Nina. That about wraps up this live. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. If you have any other questions, just type them into the comments below. We'll hop in there in a few hours to answer them. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll have another Facebook Live in 2 days. We'll see you guys then. Thank you.